Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Boat-Chât, which is long overdue. I'm sorry there have been no episodes for the past 2 weeks. I have not abandoned the channel, however. I had my PC die last week, and I am now preparing for a 10-day trip to Japan that I should be packing for instead of making a YouTube video. But here I am, so let's get right into it. So first, 2 huge bits of myth-busting from developer Sub-Octavian. Now, this is somewhat old news, but these are such widespread myths that I still feel like I ought to mention them just in case you hadn't heard. I'll make it quick. The first is that you take less flooding damage if you slow down or stop. Have you heard that before? Well, guess what? It's not true. Flooding damage is constant and not affected by your ship speed at all. Myth number 2. The hidden statistic known as sigma is the vertical dispersion of the shells in a salvo. Well, it's complicated. The sigma is actually the degree to which shells will be statistically more likely to land closer to the specified aim point as opposed to a random point within the maximum dispersion area. That's a little complicated, but that said, it's sort of true in that more shells are going to tend to be closer to where you aimed them, both horizontally and vertically with higher sigma, but still bear in mind that the actual maximum dispersion, i.e. the farthest point from where you aimed that a shell can land, doesn't actually change. No one is quite sure how this is calculated mathematically, but there are some threads about it, and I'll actually post one in the description, so take a look at that if you want to dive into some deep math stuff. I'll also link the episode of the Warships podcast where the original interview took place. It's really good, and the podcast in general is really good, so I suggest you check that out if you haven't already. So, a few mentions of actual ships. First, while I don't have any immediate plans to grind up the French cruiser line, I picked up Émile Bertin as soon as they buffed its speed to a silly 39 knots, and it's very fun. The 12-second reload hurts, of course, but it's tier 5, so it kinda needs the long reload or else it would be way overpowered. The guns are pretty punchy, and the turrets are actually unusually fast, 15-second 180-degree turn time, and obviously the ship itself is very fast, fast enough to outrun some destroyers, and it doesn't look half bad either. I'm really enjoying it, and I plan to hang on to it, so highly recommended for mid-tier fun. Speaking of mid-tier fun, part of the reason I'm not seriously grinding out the French cruiser line is that I realized I still have quite a few lines that I want to finish first, and one of them that I've put off for a very long time is German cruisers. I really want the Hindenburg, but having heard how bad ships like the York were, gave me a reason to procrastinate. But I'm doing it now, and realized when I looked back, I hadn't even played through the Nürnberg yet. So maybe I'm just getting lucky a lot, but the Nürnberg feels really good. Like so many of the recent cruiser lines, it really does demand that you pay careful attention to your surroundings, and by surroundings, I mean enemy battleships. Now, if you played battleships, you know that the Nürnberg really is the Pensacola of tier 6, where you can get Citadel hits just by looking at it menacingly. But as long as you use your range and don't get into situations where you'll be focused, you have a ship with a crazy good 6-second reload and really excellent German AP shells that can do reliable damage as long as you can keep them working. So I'm really enjoying the ship, and hopefully it's not just a run of good luck that's about to evaporate. Are you tired of me talking about mid-tier cruisers? Too bad, because I'll also mention Duca D'Aosta, but I'll keep it short. My initial impression was mixed. The handling of the ship was exactly as advertised. It feels amazing. But the guns were the big surprise. They really felt a bit weak compared to guns of the same size on other ships. So, not happy with the damage I was getting, I switched my captain build around, did an IFHE build, and that was the special sauce that this ship needed. My captain is still fairly new, so I had to give up concealment, but that was a very worthwhile trade considering the difference it made to the damage I'm able to do. So if you picked up Duca D'Aosta, I can't recommend strongly enough that you run IFHE on your captain, even if you need to dip into your elite commander XP pool to get it. It really makes the guns come alive, and I really like the ship now. Now, as far as new stuff in the game, public test for 0.6.5 is concluding right now, and most of the content of that patch revolves around a new campaign, the Hunt for the Bismarck, as well as some improvements to the campaign system itself. Honestly, though, the bit I'm most interested are the new signal flags that are being added. These are the Wyvern, or Wyvern, not sure how you say that, which gives you 50% more credits. That's not so amazing. the Red Dragon, which gives 100% XP and 100% Commander XP, very nice if you're grinding up the line. Ouroboros, which is 777% free XP added, that's amazing. And Hydra, which is 150% Commander XP and 250% free XP, also quite amazing. Those are all really good flags, and I can't wait to start earning these in the new campaign. Bear in mind that these are signal flags, not flags, so obviously they get expended just like all the rest, including if you play a terrible game and don't get much out of them. But play some good matches and you'll be able to reel in a ton of free XP and Commander XP, which are both very valuable in the game. Final note, or is it a warning? I'm beginning to work on review videos for two of the most disparaged ships in the whole game, Tashkent and Krasny Krym. This letter in Russian is wacky and hard to pronounce correctly, but I promise I'm working on it. But as far as the reviews themselves, I plan to answer all the burning questions, such as, should the Tashkent take smoke or heal? Why does it even exist? Can the Krispy Kreme be any good with a one-off high point captain build? And just why? Well, I hope to resolve all of this in the review videos, so stay tuned, which you can do by hitting the subscribe button, which I hope you'll do if you haven't already. So just a reminder, I will be out of the country for almost 2 weeks, and I won't be able to do a video next week, maybe the following week, we'll see how it goes. Sorry about all the irregularity, I'm new to this, and it was kind of a tricky month for me. Hopefully things will be more stable going into the summer. So that's all for now, thank you for watching, and happy boating.